Hello parents, today we are going to talk about fractions, decimals, and percents. It is very important for your child to understand that all three concepts are very closely related. I feel the best way is to make a table and have your child complete the blank boxes. You can start with simple fractions or decimals and progressively get more difficult. For example, most kids know that 1/2 is equal to 0.5, and they also know that 0.5 is equal to 50%. In a similar way, 1/4 is the same thing as 0.25, which is equal to 25%. In school, they may have learned how to convert between decimals and percents. One way to do it is that if you have a decimal and you want to convert it into percents, all you have to do is multiply by 100. So therefore, 0.25 times 100 is equal to 2500, and you move the decimal place over to 2 places, so therefore it equals 25%. In a similar way, they can also do the same process in reverse to convert percents into decimals. For the same problem, if you were taking 25%, they can divide by 100, which is the same thing as 1/4, or 1 divided by 4, which equals 0.25. Your child may have memorized some of the fractions, which is good. But if they do not know the conversion, they can always calculate it by dividing the numerator by the denominator. As an example, a fraction that they might not often see in the classroom where they need to do a conversion is 5/8. So again, what they can do is they can divide the numerator by the denominator. And now this is a relatively simple division problem, where the decimal places is after the whole number. You add the 0, and 5/8 is the same thing as 0.625. If you wanted to convert this into a percent, you can multiply by 100, so therefore it would equal 62.5%. Another way they can do this is that they can move the decimal place over 2 places, 1, 2, and 0.625 is the same thing as 62.5%. It may be useful for you to see how your child does the conversions, whether they go from decimals to percents or decimals to fractions or vice versa. So in this example, 0.2 can be converted into 1/5. But how do they do it? So they can say that 0.2 or 2/10 is the same thing as 2/10. As a result, you can simplify it into 1/5. Or perhaps it is much easier for your child to go from decimals to percents because they just have to move the decimal place. So 0.2 is the same thing as 20%. They know 20% is the same thing as 20/100, which again reduces to 1/5. Have the blank boxes ordered in different ways so that they're not seeing a specific pattern, and so that they can tackle each problem individually. So for example, 10%, are they going to convert this into a decimal or a fraction? So again, it's very easy to convert 10% into a decimal. 10% is the same thing as 0.10, and 0.10 is the same thing as 1/10. If they know how to read the decimal, in many ways it's very easy to know how to convert it into a fraction. 0.1 can be read as 1/10, which can be written 1/10. There are some related fractions, and it's also good to see if they understand that 1/4 is somewhat related to 3/4, or it is related. So therefore, if 1/4 is equal to 0.25, then 3/4 is 3 times 0.25, which is 0.75. 0.75 converts to 75%. As your child practices other conversions, then it's also useful to have conversions that doesn't have a numerator of 1. So therefore, you can have a number like 0.4 or 4/10. So 4/10 is the same thing as 4/10, which can be reduced to 2/5. It's good to see whether that your child will be satisfied with 4/10 or if they will take the extra step to reduce it in its simplest form into 2/5. Again, with 0.4, you can convert 0.4 into 40%. This is a very quick video on how to convert between fractions, decimals, and percents. You can create your own very simple table to help your child understand the relationship between these three concepts. They are very closely related, and many times if they understand one of the concepts, they can understand the other two fairly easily. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.